Hey, it's Stasia Bliss. I really needed to jump on here and make this video. I am very excited to share what is coming through. And I've been taking a little bit more time in between videos lately because stuff is really dense. So this is today's epiphany. And some of you are at different points in this journey, so hear me from wherever you're at. I know I have known intellectually this information that I'm going to share with you for a while, but I hadn't experienced it in the physical, which is how you know you're integrating it, is your body and your mind are lined up, your intellect and your experiences are one and the same. And so I've been taking some business coaching classes from my brother-in-law, and I always considered that I didn't do very well in business, and so I kept myself in a lower business bracket than maybe I thought that I deserved or thought that I could handle or that I thought I was worth on one layer of my being. But I realized I had used the excuse I'm not very good at business because I would say I was good at healing work, I was good at talking to people, I was good at education, I was good at yoga, I was good at all these things, but business, no, it's not my thing. And so I was not claiming that. And this is interesting because I have been utilizing integrated consciousness theories for a while. My friend Lisa Kay is the originator of some of those thoughts, but they're in many traditions, and that is everything is in the one and the one is in the everything, right? You've heard this before. So it's holographic in nature. It means that we have all of the potentiality of existence in us. So it's silly to say I don't have a business sense, I just haven't developed my business sense, okay? Or I hadn't noticed the way my business sense already was naturally being, and what is my style of business. And that's the other thing, is we're all learning our uniqueness, our individuality, our special combination that makes us who we are. And everybody is slightly different, right? But it's not just good or bad. It's on a spectrum of learning or acknowledging, if you want to look at it from the self-worth level, which I'm going to suggest. So taking these business classes with my brother-in-law allowed me to see that actually everything he was showing me were things I was already familiar with and I was implementing, but in my own way, and I've been a business owner and entrepreneur for almost all my adult life, though I've always looked at myself as just getting by with it, just managing, just paying all the things barely. But how many of us feel like that? No matter what level that we're living at, we feel that way. We're just getting by. So, of course, like all of us, I wanted to expand my feeling of abundance. This opportunity to do this business work came in, and again, like I was saying, the steps were very simple. Networking, okay, yeah, defining what you do. Well, what do I do? Like, what would I say I do? Describe what you do, like very basically, simply, right? So as I'm doing this, and I realize this is not as hard as it looked. In fact, I've already done this a bunch, and it's actually great to get this clear. Like, it's super awesome to get this clear on who I am and what I am doing, and realizing I am many things, that I am a bliss coach, not just a bliss coach, bliss in the house coach, bliss in your house, body, astrology, coach, but also the yoga, the Bliss Me yoga, the awareness of self, the ability to guide you into reconnecting with your body temple and the way that it functions, so you have full access to your life force, your bliss, your most authentic state. And that is the two words I put together. That bliss doesn't mean high ecstatic, it means authentic, purely. It's blissful to be who you are. So in this little business thing, I'm realizing actually who I am, which is kind of what business helps you reveal. Like, who are you? What's your message? What are you here to do? What's your calling? What are you gonna, what would you like to trade your services for? Like, who are you? So recognizing that and loving that about myself, loving who I am in that capacity, raises my business self-worth, which raises my ability to connect with the true source of abundance. And the epiphany that I had today is, I realized this because my family, who never really wanted to get any work from me, and many of us who've been doing some of the spiritual work for a while, we may feel the same, like, but my family doesn't really ever call me. I'm not saying never. There are a few siblings of mine that have, but as a general thumb, it's just been a couple of them, right? And I have a very big family. And so I guess you could say it always was my dream also to, like, be recognized by your family. I mean, who doesn't want to be seen by the ones they love, like, for who you truly are? So I think it's a silent dream we all have. And in my self-work the last few years, I've looked at myself and I've said, I need to go clean up wherever my biggest wounds are, is what I said to myself. And one of them was my relationship with my family. And I just had to go put myself there and be in that difficult place and work it out and make it good and bless it and honor it and love it. And so I feel like I did that. And from that has sprouted these beautiful offerings, one of which being my brother-in-law offering to this business coaching with me, that he and his wife, my sister, developed these awesome, successful programs that they're doing coaching people. And so I was invited by them to get some coaching, and it felt so loving. And I think my brother-in-law saw me for the first time and really got to appreciate who I was. So as he saw me more, I saw myself more. As my sister saw me more, and she actually sees me the most, I saw myself more. And then slowly I felt that as I did this in me, and I loved them and for exactly who they are, not needing them to change for me, not really needing them to accept me, but me to accept them, their response to me began to shift to the point where suddenly they're coming to me and asking me for help, which also becomes another source of abundance. And I don't always charge my family for work, but sometimes they just want to give it to you. They want a reason to support you. And so in this happening today, as my family has turned around and started sending me funds for work that I've done for them, that they almost maybe didn't know I did or hadn't thought of getting it done or whatever, it's just the time, the rune Otala came to mind. And I love the runes. It's the final rune in the fourth ruk, which means the ancestral stream, the inheritance of the ancestral lot is really the interpretation. And it is described as when you can turn and honor your family, when you can turn and see the beauty and the blessings that they bring and the gifts and who they are and how, what the purpose of them being exactly as they are is to you. And love it, no matter what it is. Love it anyway, bring honor to it anyway. That it somehow unlocks this flow of abundance that's not just coming from them, but that's coming through the entire ancestral stream. And it's actually life force energy. It's actually chi that is coming through the ancestral stream. And when the family, I think maybe once in a generation or two or three, someone comes along who's very bright and who's very charismatic and beautiful, and somewhere the family feels and sees that that person in the family, they could shine that light the best, that they could make the biggest impact on the world. And so I think they give a little bit of their life force energy to you, probably you who are watching this, who is the healer in your family, who is the light bringer, who is the brightest one who knows. Somewhere in your family, they made an offering to you. They decided you could express it best. This is my feeling of this rune and what it's saying. And so that energy flows to you. And so then they show up as little tiny bit of shadow elements to that light, which gives, not that they're all dark, but they're all just have little fragments away that they kind of gave you to shine the best for everyone. And so when we honor everyone's expression and realize on some level they sacrificed for me, a bit of that ability to shine so that someone in the family line could receive the offering and could be like the Jesus in their family, could be the Buddha in their family, the light bringer, the one that carries on that spark. And the rest of them get to benefit. They get to be nourished by that light. They get to be served by it. They get to enjoy the bounty in a different way. And maybe all of their lives are bounteous and they have, all the health and the beauty. They get a different sort of blessing. And so I just felt like sharing this today because it felt insightful that, and maybe it isn't your business self that you have a hard time with, but whatever part of yourself that you think, but I'm just not that good at that. Like if you are good at business, but you're like, I'm just not that good at healing. Maybe you are, but maybe it's just you do it in your own way. You do it in your own way. So when you acknowledge what part of you is that, and you love that part of you and how it expresses, that is the gratitude, right? It's the gratitude, like you're a genetic expression of your family. When you love this, and you can love the different offshoots of that, and your brothers, sisters, mother, father, aunt, uncle, cousin, nephew, niece, like all of the different ways. Some of them will be closer to you and farther away. But you honor this like fractal of family. Love it in yourself, accept it, love it in them. Channels open. Miracles ensue. Okay, I hope you can use this message in your life and feel that resonating in you. Open up to the currents by turning around and honoring the ones who came before you in their current authentic self.